What's up, you guys? It's Henry here. As spring is starting to ramp up here in the Midwest and open water season is going to be starting soon, here are 4 super beginner-friendly baits to catch more bass this spring. Let's get into it. During the spring, there are 2 types of bass, the pre-spawn bass and the spawning bass. All of these lures will be able to catch both, with some of them being more effective than others for certain types of bass. The first bait I have on the list here is the chatterbait. This is super effective at catching those pre-spawning bass that are super hungry, on the move, looking for a quick meal, and this is going to be your best bet. You can fish it 2 different ways, which makes it super beginner friendly. You could either fish it like a spinnerbait with a straight retrieve, or you could bounce it up and off the bottom using that blade to bring more fish in. I like to fish mine with a trailer. This one right here is a Billy Red Baits black copy color. Let's get on to the next bait. The second bait I highly recommend throwing if you're a beginner is a Texas rig with a bullet right on top. This is a super well-known bait in the bass fishing community, and it's super well-known for a reason. It catches a bunch of fish. You can fish this multiple different ways, either up close on the structure, looking for those pre-spawn bass, or you can drop it directly onto beds to try to entice those bass that are on those beds, protect those beds to eat. The biggest problem that I run into when I'm fishing these fish on the beds is that they're not eating. They're just protecting their nests. And so this is going to be super effective at getting those bass to strike, as it is a natural bait, occurring bait, and it is more of a natural color, and you can fish it on that bed and keep it on that bed very effectively by just flipping it onto the bed and fishing like that. Third bait I have here is one of my personal favorite baits to fish during this pre-spawn time is the drop shot. This bait right here uses a weight on the bottom with about 6 inches of leader line with a bait suspended right above that weight right there. This is going to be super effective at catching those fish on those beds as you're able to flip it on the bed and consistently work that bait right there in the same position. So if you get a perfect cast, you can just sit right on top of that bed right there, just jig at that fish the entire time and not have to continuously recast. This makes this bait super effective at targeting those spawning fish. And last but not least is the Ned rig. This is also a super effective bait all year and is really effective at targeting both pre-spawn fish and spawning fish, as you're able to get it out there, cover water with it, and jig it along the bottom, or you're able to flip it onto those beds and really get those fish to bite. I like to use a bunch of robo worm stuff like this. This is a bigger worm. And so depending on your area and you're not able to get those fish to bite, either they're pressured or they're being super finicky and weird, you can use a smaller one. This is, I believe, a 3.3 inch, and this right here is a 4 inch. So depending on your area, you can change up the bait size and color in order to better fit your area. If you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.